What's going on, spiritual seekers? Welcome to another episode of the Zen Gen podcast. I probably should not say it like that because it's been like over a month since I've recorded my last episode, and my bad on that. I've just been so busy going hard on pushing content on my platforms. If you're not following me already, follow me at Jeans from BK with a J on all platforms, and just putting my energy towards that. But I felt compelled not even compelled, I had to. It's been damn near over a month since my last one, and I normally post an episode every 2 weeks and shit. But I'm definitely gonna get better with that because there's just so much going on, y'all. So much going on. And I was debating what topic or theme I wanted to focus on for this episode. And I was gonna go in the direction with the Pope and talk about religion and spirituality, which I am. It's not gonna be this episode though. And then I was gonna talk possibly about the Cassie and what's going on with the trial. I've already said my piece about how I felt about everything that's going on. You can refer back to my God's Side episode. Okay. We'll just leave it at that. Just go listen to that. You know what I'm saying? The light's here. Everything that's done in the dark will always come to light. And we off that on this new vibration that this planet's on right now. But I will say really fast though about this case that you are truly seeing the division. Do y'all remember? I forget which episode it was where I was like, you're going to see two different timelines, meaning two different ways that people are living. And I don't want to say physically living, I mean like living in their minds and their awareness. There's going to be people still stuck in that old 3D way of thinking. And there's going to be people that are living now in the 4D, 5D way of thinking. When, they're opening their eyes a little bit more. They're starting to see from different points of views and situations. So I say that because with Cassie's testimony, I'm recording this really late. So the testimony earlier today, and it was absolutely horrific. I feel for her so deeply for what she went through. And then, I was scrolling, just looking at posts, and I'm looking at the comments that some people are leaving. I'm like, damn, which I'm going to let y'all know, like, people do this, and I picked up on it. So it's not just celebrities. It could be politicians and whoever else that's trying to create a story or an image or, build up some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, create noise on their own. They do this a lot in politics, matter of fact. They do it when they're doing campaigns and shit like that. They'll have a team of people. They'll hire people to do this, to send out messages on social media, okay, to create confusion, and they'll so that the perception of said person that they're working for can shift. They know that they can do this by creating false accounts on social media and just have these bots and people. There's like this Netflix special, actually, I believe. I forget what Netflix series or docu-series it was, but they showed this, that they did this during the presidential campaigns, that there were a group of tech folk that were hired to just pump out mad tweets and social media posts about their opponent, making up shit, or like, creating arguments online, trying to plant ideas out. Anyway, I'm picking up that that's happening out right now with that case too. So you ain't. Anyways, so listen, I feel for her. I feel for anybody that has been exposed to and experienced any type of domestic violence or sexual abuse, sexual assault. Unfortunately, I've said this before. I know people on the God Side episode. I know people that have experienced that. And, domestic abuse goes physical and emotional. And so, I see what it's done to people long term. I've seen people who have been in a very abusive marriage or relationship, and it took them like damn near 10 years, 15 years to leave. And to an outsider who doesn't understand what that's like, you might be like, well, why didn't she just leave? And I put this on my TikTok, but like, emotional manipulation is a bitch. It really is. And when someone is being emotionally manipulated, that's either young or just naive, or very, nurturing, kind-hearted, or someone who has experienced, abandonment issues as a kid, just other types of childhood traumas like that, it'll do a number on them. And words have power. Words have their own vibration. Everything has a vibration but words. That's why I think I said this before about sound healing. I forget what episode. I think it was after the episode I did with Friday, right? I was like, there was an experiment where somebody was talking really mean, foul, degrading things, negative words to a plant versus another plant where they were talking very kindly to it, lovingly. And within 30 days, they showed the difference in the plant. The plant that was spoken down to was damn near dead, and the other plant was thriving. So words have power, and what someone can say, if they know how to say it, and manipulate you into thinking, believing things. And on top of that, the fact that you're inexperienced, like you could end up damn well be stuck in the relationship for a very long time, because eventually you feel like it's just hopeless, and you kind of just feel like a caged animal. And so this episode isn't about Cassie, about the situation. I just wanted to get that off my chest, because it just happened earlier today, and just the testimony, and oh my God, just damn, yo, it's fucking terrible. Yeah, one last thing, the emotional scarring. I believe she said she's been in therapy, very intense therapy. Just having to work through something like that. And I can pick up, she is such a generous, sweetheart. Just soft and sweet. That's just what I'm getting from her energy, you know? And unfortunately, she was preyed on in that way. So I wish her nothing but the best. I send her love, light, and healing, and applaud her for being so fucking brave to be the one to really put an end, and I feel that, to the disgusting activities that's been happening in music. And it's beyond what Cassie's been through. I'm gonna leave it like that. So, which is sort of a tie-in because, you know, some people feel like they're, I don't want to say entitled, but sorry, my allergies are going right now. Some people love power, or to feel like they're better than other people. And then they abuse that power, right? Or they create this image in their mind of who they are when they're not. And so that ties into my topic on this episode about chosen ones. Now, this is what I felt compelled to do or say. The reason why I made this episode is because, you know, I've been seeing so many people calling themselves chosen ones, and so much, you know, conversations about who was the chosen one, what is a chosen one, and, you know, and et cetera, et cetera. And like I've said on other episodes, I think it was the episode about love, when I said putting names to things, we shouldn't do that because we kind of get stuck in that energy and it becomes something else. And that's what's happening with this chosen one phrase. I posted up a video on my TikTok about it, and not throwing shade to any gender, but I figured, I felt like it was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen like quite like this, but like the response I was getting mainly from men, masculines, fighting me on what a chosen one is. And I was like, well, this is interesting. Meanwhile, the feminines were hitting the heart buttons on my post. And I'm like, well, look at that dynamic. Not all masculines. I'm just saying, like, a lot of men, not all. And so it immediately I picked up. It was like, you know, people find the validation in these types of terms. Like, either they feel like because they can say they're chosen one, they're either better than other people, or it makes them special. And it immediately brought me to a lot of childhood trauma that people have yet to work through. So maybe they didn't feel special when they were younger. Out of childhood too. Could be even during teen years. You know what I'm saying? Like, just situations that made them feel like they weren't being seen. They were lesser than, or they weren't the cool kid, or they've never had anything in their life to make them feel like they're accomplished. So it's very deep. You're probably like, Jen, it's not that deep. Nah, it is that deep. And I'm going to explain why. First off, let's talk about what a chosen one is. So, a chosen one, they say, is part of a group what the 144,000. So 144,000. This is what is said, that a group of 144,000, these special groups, the special soul, are going to incarnate here on planet Earth and be part of the change and the awakening, will be involved with spreading Christ consciousness. Now, like I said, this is sort of, I was going to save the religion episode for, the day, but I will say lightly that when you hear Christ consciousness, do not attribute it to a religion. I know it doesn't make any sense, but Christ consciousness is a state of mind. It's a state of thought, elevated thought. So, oh man, I'm trying to stay away because I want to save this for the religion episode, because I know that shit's going to make people feel away. But, I say what I say. What do I always say? I forgot to say it. If it resonates with you, then cool, we're on the same frequency, and, you're supposed to be hearing what I'm saying. Or you take what you want, leave what you want. You could be like, nah, Jen, I don't agree. Going back to Christ consciousness. So Christ consciousness is a consciousness of love, compassion, kindness, helping one another, and unity and peace. That's the energy of Christ consciousness. And so these 144,000 chosen ones are part of this collective to help do that. They have a very big mission here. They have a mission to spread that consciousness, because Christ consciousness, remember, it's not connected to religion, although Yeshua, or as people call him, Jesus Christ, is a real person. But Yeshua's energy is an energy very almost identical to source energy. So people think that being a chosen one is someone who maybe they have had a lot of success in their life and a lot of people look up to them or like admire them, or people feel like they've been through hell and back in life, but they're still here and alive. They feel like they're really protected. And these are all valid feelings, right? To make you feel that way. But that's not a chosen one. That's part of you being a divine being. And that could just be you being spiritually protected or spiritually connected. Chosen ones really have a special job here, a mission that was given to them, assigned to them by the divine, because chosen ones are not only the strongest souls and spirits, but they're also the purest spirits. That's why they are chosen. Many are called for this job, if you want to call it that. But not everyone gets through. That's why there's 144,000. And I want y'all to think about this. 144,000 out of a gazillion, bazillion souls and spirits. Whatever the highest number is. What is that? Isn't Google the highest number or something? 144,000 out of that much are chosen. So if you want to think about it from a mathematical perspective, if you're talking about 144,000 out of a Google amount of souls and spirits, you trying to tell me that all of y'all are freaking chosen ones? Like, you understand what I'm saying? This is a very unique and divine mission and divine group that are here for a specific divine job given to them directly by source. And they are highly, highly protected because of their divine mission. And there ain't nothing that could get in between that. That is how powerful the high-ranking spiritual beings, chosen ones, have around them. And let me tell you, chosen ones are powerful themselves. So very, very selective group of people. In a chosen one's life, everyone thinks it's, from what I'm seeing, again, people assume because they've done well in life, that they've been through shit and, they've been through the ringer, but they made it out in certain situations. It's God. Yes, God got you. God loves all. But that doesn't mean that you're chosen. And it's frustrating me because it's one thing to just feel loved by God, like I'm chosen. I get that. But to see people use that term to glorify themselves in a way, that's when I'm like, And I'm seeing that. So just because you've been through hell and back does not mean you're chosen either. Just be on your spiritual path of growth. That's what I'm saying. This is a very, very selective, exclusive, divine group of people, souls, spirits that are given this task. They are normally very, very old souls because they've experienced life in different dimensions, in different universes. Some have even been here since prior to the existence of many planets. And these chosen ones, like I said, are given this task to carry a divine mission from source. You have to be of the purest souls. Purest. And, I don't want you to think when I say purest, because they're incarnating here, obviously, on earth, that they're not doing things that wouldn't be frowned upon, but they're not doing it in a malicious way, nor harming people, nor doing it out of a place of knowing. Source, Yeshua, and the high dimensional beings that are involved in this, because it's a team, would not give this divine mission to just anyone. It's a very spiritual job. This is what they're tasked to do. So I'm saying everyone wants to be pulled into this 144,000 chosen ones group. But like a lot of people are not part of the club. It sounds very blunt, but I have to say it for what it is. And that's another thing too. If you're a chosen one, you don't have to go around saying you're a chosen one because you already know. And you're not walking around because, again, These are the pure souls walking around with an inflated ego because you are a chosen one. Because chosen ones are souls and spirits who understand why they're here, and they operate purely from a balanced space. It's not self-serving to be a chosen one. They're of service. My ears are ringing right now. So, being a chosen one, everyone wants to be called one, not knowing what it entails. And I said this on my video that if people understood what being a chosen one's life is like, they would not want to be one. It is riddled with karmic lessons after karmic lessons, tons of deaths and rebirths. A lot of introspection and walking in the shadows for a very long time. Very long time. And things don't happen for them until later in life. And the reason why this has to happen in this manner is because they have to be spiritually ready, spiritually equipped, go through the quote unquote spiritual training first. Chosen ones are high-ranking divine beings. And when they come here, they are stripped of everything they know about the universe and connection and their spiritual gifts. They come into it and they start awakening to their gifts. Everyone comes here with spiritual amnesia. But imagine a chosen one who is super high ranking in the spiritual realm. To be that and come here and have that all stripped. So that's done purposefully. And they have to walk this life of these difficulties and these lessons so that they can find the light within themselves and reemerge transformed and fully back in their spiritual power so that they can go and fulfill their spiritual mission. Because without experience and wisdom, they wouldn't be able to do that. A chosen one's life is also hard because they're misunderstood their entire lives. People have a tendency to want to dim their light or suppress them because others can see or know the light within them, and that triggers their inner, I don't like to use this word, but I mean, so y'all can understand, like inner demons, the shadows within them that they have to work on. It triggers the shit out of people's demons. Just the presence of them alone. Chosen ones don't go around bothering anyone or doing things out of intention for any type of egoic recognition. They naturally vibrate at this high level. And a lot of souls who are not balanced and healed and haven't worked on their inner shadows, they immediately get triggered by it. That irritates the shit out of their soul. It makes them fucking like itchy and shit. You know what I'm saying? It drives them nuts. And so unfortunately, chosen ones are constantly suppressed. For some reason, people just want to take them down And all they're doing is just being them, standing in their light. Their generous, kind, creative light. People can't stand it. So, a chosen one's life is not an easy one. Imagine going through all of this. Plus, you got people against you for no reason at all. Like, it'll break a lot of people. That's why not everyone's a chosen one. Because not everyone can make it to the end of the first mission, which is to walk down this path of karmic lesson after karmic lesson, tons of death and rebirths. Many souls will not make it to the end. That's why the strongest spirits are chosen for the spiritual mission. It is very, very, I don't want to use the word exclusive. I'm trying to find another word, but very specific. I guess that's a better word. Specific to the greater plan of source and the divine and the prophecy of this planet. The 144,000 chosen ones are here now in this lifetime. I've said this before in other episodes. What's happening on Gaia right now is fucking monumental. Do you understand what I'm saying? Historic. Whatever word trumps that. Okay? That's what's happening right now on Gaia. This has never, ever happened before. The universe has been waiting for this moment here on Gaia. This awakening. Because we've been asleep spiritually. At this level that we are now, this many souls being awakened at once, never happened before. Not at this rate. And so the 144,000 are here in this lifetime. And if they're not already, about to step into their divine mission to help raise the frequency of this planet, to spread the awareness, to speak the truths of unity, peace, compassion, love, kindness, generosity, Christ consciousness. And there ain't no way in fucking hell, okay, that source, Yeshua, and anyone else that's involved, mainly Yeshua and source, would choose, no disrespect, it's going to sound fucked up, but you know what I'm getting. Everyone's special and unique, but just a regular, degular, schmegular spirit who's just working through their karma and their soul lessons for this type of divine mission. It's not for everyone. Maybe some of you felt like you were a chosen one. You are a chosen one. Maybe you are listening. You are a chosen one. But there's only 144,000 of them. And again, that's not to say that chosen ones are better than anyone else. No, they're just here for this specific mission because they have a specific frequency. They have a specific ranking, and their ranking is high because of the freaking work they've done over lifetimes and lifetimes after lifetimes, millions of lifetimes. So Source in Yeshua to push Christ consciousness during a pivotal moment right now on Gaia. Pivotal. Absolutely mind-blowing change is happening right now with the frequency of this planet. So many people are really spiritual and tapped in right now at a higher rate than ever before. The only other time that it's been this high, but then it was dumbed down again, was during this, when was the hippie age stage? 60s, late 60s, 70s, around there. The whole flower power and all that shit. Very similar. But where we're at right now, do that, but times like a trillion in terms of spiritual awakening and spiritual connection. So because of this delicate state, an important milestone on this planet, Source and Yeshua are going to be very selective of who's chosen for the job. Again, that doesn't make them better than anyone. And if you don't know this, in the higher realms, there's no ego up there. Yes, there is a hierarchy. There are rankings. But no one is like, damn, well, I'm better than you. No, but you bet I'm better than you. There's none of that. It's just a knowing that it is. It's just a knowing that that's what it is. And so I say that because chosen ones know this. That's why they don't walk around with egos needing to tell everyone they're a chosen one. They just do the job and the mission they're supposed to do. Because people will know, not that they care, will know that they're a chosen one by the work they do. And the impact and the influence and what they create from what they do. Which is to help shift and uplift and elevate the frequency on this planet, spreading the message, the Christ consciousness state of being. So I just wanted to make this episode and share this. And I'm not sure, I guess because it's just that title, being a chosen one, is so sacred. You know, people just flinging it around like, I don't know, like I'm the president type shit. Like, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the same. Totally different. It's a very divine phrase. And given to truly the ones that are here to do the work. So I'm thinking if I should let me pull a card real fast because I always pull cards. Let me do this really, really fast. I just want to see what Spirit has to say. Actually, I'm going to use my other deck for this. Because this is a very in-depth episode. Well, in terms of the consciousness of this planet. So this is going to be a little more cosmic versus me talking about, getting through everyday life. You know what I mean? So let me just connect the spirit real fast and let me see what they want to say about what I just said. All right. Okay. I'm not recording a video for this episode, so I can't show you the card, but I'll describe it to you. So the card that came out, like I was saying, about the awakening of this planet, they're confirming me. The card says cellular upgrade. The awakening, the upgrade in everyone's energy and energy frequency right now. It is rising. Not everyone, though, is in this frequency to receive it in this way. That's why you might find some people, like I said, that's still stuck in the 3D, find it very burdensome right now. Everything might irritate them in life. It's feeling very heavy for them, the energy. Even if they feel like their life is just everyday life, but there's still something, a heaviness to them, to their life or to them that they're dealing with within themselves. For others that are not in that energy, y'all are really getting this upgrade from source, from spirit, from our cosmic brothers and sisters, ETs, and from the sun. A lot of solar flares is hitting the planet right now. It's adding to the elevation, but we are all getting upgraded left and right. So it's very important for you to find ways to ground your energy as these upgrades are happening. Some people's sleep might be affected, digestive system. You might be getting headaches, or you're feeling just uneasy, or you're purging a lot of emotions. Old thoughts and patterns are creeping up. Not like you're going back to them, but like thoughts and things like that. Just it's all coming up to be cleared out. Think of it like, okay, I'm getting like a sponge that's filled with water, just in water. Imagine like a sponge being wrung out, right? All that water coming out, that's you purging everything that you were and clearing it all out, all the things energetically that don't serve you. So it can be a lot for folks. So find some practices to ground yourself. Could be just walking on grass and connecting with the earth, meditation, or just sitting in silence, or exercising, whatever activity that can stop you from thinking about what's going on around you and have you just feel zoned out. Like, those are all forms of meditation. Meditation isn't just necessarily sitting down and quieting your mind, which is a very amazing way to connect and ground yourself. Like, absolutely. But there are other methods. Painting, even if you listen to music, high vibrational music though, that all can work too. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it's been a minute, but had to get up on here and explain and talk about chosen ones. And if you're listening and you truly feel like you're a chosen one. Oh, yes, one more thing. How you know you're a chosen one as well. Like, it's again, you just know, inner knowing. Also could be that you are told, not by another person, by spirit themselves. Those are the ways you will know that you're a chosen one. One last thing is also the way your life is headed. You just know that you're calling and you are stepping into your calling, that you're adding and helping the collective. When I say the collective, I mean spirits here on this planet right now, on Gaia. Really wanting to help people from a place of true intentions, pure love. And I'm not talking about physically, which is great too, absolutely, but also from an inner spiritual level. You're not trying to gain nothing from what you're doing. The only thing that you want to do is to help people. That's it. This is how you know you're a chosen one. It's only about helping other souls and to increase the awareness and the message of Christ consciousness. All right? I'll be honest, I don't know when the next episode's going to be. Nah, let me not do that. No, because I really want to continue to keep you guys in the loop, in addition to everything I'm doing already from all my Zen Gen stuff. So we're gonna continue on with these episodes. I have to. I just have to. Okay. So I guess on that note, remember, everything begins from within. Everything. I'm gonna always leave y'all with that. Align yourself inside, connect within, move with integrity and compassion, work on your inner shadows, and you will be fully aligned and so deeply connected to spirit that you'll start seeing the things that I've seen and see and know. We all have that ability. The problem is we've just been blocked from it. I'm just here serving as a guide for all of you so that you can go and stand in your own truth and your own power and your own essence from a truly balanced place of integrating your shadow side and your light side. That shadow side is just part of the human experience. It's learning how to discipline that, put that shit in check. That's how you balance the duality of being a spirit. All right? I'll catch you on the next episode. Love and light. Peace.